Hello and welcome to the Seer 365 sessions, where we have hopefully interesting conversations with our partners from around the world. Today, I'm really excited to be joined by Aptitude, and I'll let them introduce themselves and explain what the guys at Aptitude do. Whilst you're watching this, and if those of you watching it live, if you've got any questions as we're going, feel free to add a comment below on LinkedIn, and then we'll get back to them. If you're not watching it live, then feel free to also add comments, and then we'll be notified and we'll come back to you. Might not be quite as quick as if you're doing it live though. So with that being said, then Peter, do you want to kick off and introduce yourself, and then we'll go to Adam?
Absolutely, Richard. Hey, everybody. My name is Peter Willems. I am a principal solutions consultant with Aptitude, and I focus predominantly on our accounting hub, which we'll be presenting today, which is called Fynapse.
Thank you very much. And Adam?
Yeah, thanks, Richard. I'm Adam Hojnacki. I'm the sales lead for our Microsoft Alliance at Aptitude. Very excited for this call. I'm chartered to drive a co-sell motion with the Microsoft field and some of our partners here.
Thank you very much. So with that, then we'll get started. So over to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. So to start, I'd like to share a little bit about Aptitude. If you're not familiar with Aptitude, we are a Dynamics ISV. We've had a partnership with Microsoft for about 24 months now. We focus on highly specialized finance solutions to solve complex accounting problems. And our flagship product is, what the market kind of refers to as an accounting hub or subledger, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But that's our partnership with Microsoft and our integration into Dynamics 365. We're a global company. We've been in business for about 25 years. We're publicly traded. And we have a lot of strong client references and a customer base across SMC, enterprise, and strategic accounts. We focus on, these are some of the industries that we focus on, telco, high tech, manufacturing, and there is definitely a core need when it comes to the financial services industry for a piece of tech like ours in insurance, commercial banking, retail banking, and capital markets. So with that said, I'll start with, our integration to Dynamics 365 and kind of set the groundwork of, what is an accounting hub, because it's, if you've been in the Dynamics ecosystem for a while, you might not be too familiar with it. Some of the competition has a piece there, but let's lay some groundwork. So everyone that's watching this call is probably pretty familiar with the Dynamics 365 ERP stack. Highly rated, and it does very well in retail, manufacturing, consumer packaged goods. If you're a client that doesn't have complexity in your finance architecture, and you live in these applications and do your core business in these applications, all the data is unified, automated, accessible via Power BI and Copilot. It's a really great platform. But like any ERP, if there's core business applications and business events that happen outside of the ERP, it presents some challenges, right? So if you're an insurer and your policy admin systems are going to sit outside the ERP. If you're a software client, your subscription management system is going to sit outside the ERP. If you have an e-commerce platform, obviously that's going to be outside. Maybe you're a telco and you have a billing and revenue management system. There could be a commissions application that's homegrown that lives outside of the ERP, or maybe even an order management system, right? So this is where some complexity comes into play. You definitely want to integrate all those into an ERP system. April Olson and the Dynamics product team estimate that for the average F&O client, there could be anywhere from 25 to 200 different source systems. And that could be a lot of burden on the finance module, right? So this is where the need for an accounting hub comes into play, right? So you can think about Aptitude Fynapse as the accounting hub for Dynamics, right? So if you're a Dynamics partner and you're up against a Workday, an Oracle, or an SAP, I know you're familiar with the typical ERP portfolio that Dynamics has, but we can fill that void, and you can think of us as part of your solution set to solve customer finance transformation problems. So you might say, Adam, that's great, but what exactly does that mean? What are actually the benefits of having an accounting hub, right? So when Fynapse is part of the puzzle, we sit in between. We're going to be in Azure, which is a highly scalable solution. We're the data fabric to integrate and normalize all those source systems. So, some of your typical issues with the dual right issues can go away as we're going to normalize that data. Instead of having each one of those source systems hold a different set of accounting rules, we can accept all that pre-accounted data, all that financial data raw, and be the single source for the accounting rules and automate that. We are a granular subledger, so we can store all the balances at the transaction level, providing that granular data. And we also even have a co-developed integration with the Dynamics finance module, where if you're looking at a ledger balance, you can drill back in to see that granularity, keeping the GL soft or thin rather, and the accounting hub could be thick. So in addition to that, we also have a calculations engine to perform complex calculations, like in the commissions applications. If there's calculations that need to occur, we also have a calculations engine for that. So what the value prop behind those four pillars is, we deliver AI-powered autonomous finance. We free employees up for higher value initiatives. We serve up the granular and trusted data for Copilot, Power BI, and Finance Premium. We can help retire legacy solutions that have limited value. We're going to thin out the GL and improve the performance. And then in addition, we also have some industry accelerators to speed up the time to value.
So thanks for that, Adam. So let's concentrate a little bit on the industry stuff. It's great that you're able to compete against the big ERPs out there like Oracle and SAP. But I think it's really useful to understand the types of industries this might be most relevant for.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we want to help the Dynamics partners compete in some of those spaces. And I guess I'll take a small step back here and just kind of at a high level go over our partner program. When you do bring us in, we want to obviously help you earn more in some of these industries that we can unlock. And with that said, we have a referral program for our Guide 365 partners to help you earn more. If there's interest in becoming a reseller or certified aptitude partner, there's the ability to grow services and implement our solution down the road. But ultimately, we want to help you compete better, like you just called out, Richard. So, this is just a snip from, the guide tool of Guide 365 tool, where we're seeing some of our hits in the, the business sectors and the industries where we're seeing that. No surprise, I think, to anybody that's going to be watching this call, that manufacturing is kind of at the top of the list when it comes to Microsoft, right? But let's touch on, I think, some of those other industries that we can unlock that, maybe were a little bit of an uphill battle against the competition, right? And we have some great use cases and success stories, and these are actually joint. In our first 24 months, these are joint Dynamics 365s and Aptitude Fynapse clients, right? So to start, this is a software client. They provide, contact technology and hardware and services for regulated gaming, betting, lottery, social, and leisure games globally. They operate in 35 different jurisdictions. They went live on Dynamics 365 Finance and had some hurdles, right? There was material weakness in disclosures, there was ineffective controls, and they were actually flagged for a critical audit matter, right? So our Fynapse platform, which is a finance digital data platform, it also has finance controls to help accommodate new business models and regulatory requirements. So we have a proper audit trail when drilling back into the underlying data that is in Dynamics 365. So that was a major use case for them. There was also some revenue recognition and lease accounting hurdles that our platform was able to solve for as well. And if you're ever going after a software client, happy to chat in more detail about some of the use cases here. In addition, insurance, which we're really excited about the opportunity with insurance, especially with some of the legacy clients that are on Dynamics on-prem solutions like NAV and GP and AX. The past year, we've actually been pulled in from Microsoft field sellers, to respond to some of these ERP and finance transformation projects. This is a recent one that we won in SMC with a multi-billion-dollar insurance broker in the United States. I'm really excited about that. The big fundamental challenge for them for finance was commissions calculations and allocations for their producers. They wanted to make sure that their producers were compensated correctly and on time and accurately, and that was really critical to the CFO. That was part of their growth strategy was to continue to grow through their producers, and that was a hurdle and one step closer to autonomous finance that they wanted to make. So really excited about that win with the Microsoft field. But that's just two that I'll share here today. But definitely, if you're coming across kind of these niche industries and sectors, reach out, as I think we have some compelling use cases and wins to share.
Great, and thanks for that, Adam. So one of the things that I know there's been a lot of interest around across the whole Dynamics ecosystem, internally at Microsoft, the partner channel, everywhere, it's around the end of life of Great Plains, GP. So I know you mentioned it just then. Do you want to drill down a little bit on that one?
Yeah, I'll take this one, Richard. So as you mentioned, right, with Microsoft recently announcing the end of life for GP, it signaled a significant shift for organizations that have long relied on legacy on-premise ERP solutions like GP, AX, and others, right? For many businesses, that announcement comes with an urgent need to modernize their financial systems by migrating to a cloud-based ERP like Dynamics 365 F&O. However, we're very cognizant this transition isn't always straightforward, right? Many clients that we speak to are navigating complex challenges, right? They're managing highly customized legacy systems, intricate reporting structures, perhaps even manual processes that have been built over decades. So those same customizations will often act as barriers to migration, leaving perhaps organizations hesitant about moving to the clouds. And we've seen statements like, oh, I am in a highly customized environment, I can't move to this cloud, or we've seen that very much so. So Microsoft partners, like many of you in the audience, they play a crucial role in helping clients overcome these barriers, right? But migrations of this sort of scale and complexity, they often require more than just a solid ERP implementation, right? They require solutions that can de-risk the process, that can handle burden of legacy customizations, and they can set the foundation for future ready finance operations. And that's where that concept of an accounting hub comes into play that Adam introduced, right? Fynapse as an accounting hub acts as a centralized data platform that will not only simplify migrations, but also ensure that customers can maintain the granularity and flexibility that they're accustomed to, without obviously overloading the cloud ERP. So today I'll be talking about why SI partners should consider incorporating an accounting hub as part of their migration efforts, and how this approach addresses some of the most critical challenges that your clients may face. And we already have the first point up on the screen, right? Reduce stress on the GL and ERP. One of the most significant challenges that our clients face during an ERP migration is the strain placed on the GL. Many legacy systems like GP or AX have been heavily customized over the years to accommodate specific reporting needs. So when moving to a modern cloud ERP like Dynamics D365, the expectation is often to replicate those customizations within the GL. But that approach is not only risking overloading the ERP, but it also complicates the migration process and increases the likelihood of the performance issues post go live. So where does an accounting hub sit in, right? We can provide an elegant solution to that problem. By moving dimensions and domains that are required for reporting and analysis out of the GL and into a dedicated finance data platform like Fynapse, the ERP is then freed from that unnecessary weight of customization. So that allows the GL to focus on its core function, which is, like Adam mentioned earlier, maintaining a clean, streamlined financial record, while the accounting hub handles the granularity and complexity that businesses rely on. For example, consider the simplification of a chart of accounts, right? Many legacy clients have a highly detailed chart of account structure that's often designed to accommodate reporting requirements directly within the GL. With an accounting hub, you can decouple those requirements, drastically simplifying the chart of account while still enabling detailed reporting through the hub. Now, what's also on the bullet points here is, beyond simplifying those structures, an accounting hub can also reduce batch processing times as well as SaaS or hardware costs, right? Because what you don't have is that burden of excessive data processing. So the ERP can run more efficiently, clients can avoid paying or overpaying rather for storage and processing power that they do not need. So what does that mean for SIs, right? For SIs, that reduction in stress on the GL is what we believe a game changer, right? It means fewer performance bottlenecks during the migration process, smoother implementations, and a better long-term experience for our clients. Another major concern for clients during cloud ERP migration is maintaining or perhaps even improving their financial controls. In many cases, again, legacy systems like GP or AX, they've often evolved into highly customized environments. There's a lot of manual workarounds, there's manual processes that often is bound to lead to errors, inefficiencies, as well as over-reliance on reconciliations. Moving to the cloud ERP can often seem like a leap of faith, especially when clients are worried about maintaining data integrity and perhaps avoiding disruptions to their financial process. Again, that's where an accounting hub can make a significant difference, because we are sitting upstream of the GL. Fynapse can ensure a clean, validated process of data that is then passed into the ERP. So it'll act as a centralized source of truth for financial data. We will reduce the need for reconciliations and will significantly improve error reporting and diagnosis. For example, as one of the bullet points on the slide, instead of having to manually correct errors downstream in the GL, which, as we know, is often a time-consuming and error-prone process, the accounting hub allows you to catch and resolve these issues at the source. So that not only improves the quality of the data that's entered into the ERP, but it also gives clients confidence, right? Confidence that their financial processes are robust and reliable. Additionally, an accounting hub simplifies also the integration by acting like a single point of reference with the ERP. Instead of having to juggle multiple data sources and integrations, an accounting hub consolidates, standardizes financial data before it reaches the GL. So for system integrators, this approach will strengthen your position as a trusted advisor, because by addressing data quality and concerns head on, you're helping your clients not just migrate to a new system, but also improve their financial governance in the process. Now, thirdly, one of the most common frustrations that our clients voice about their legacy system is how long it takes to access their actionable data, or worse, how difficult it is actually to trust the data that you have, right? But as an accounting hub, Fynapse can address this by acting as an intermediary between the source systems and the ERP to ensure that detailed, accurate data is always available without having to burden the ERP itself. So by leveraging a solution like Fynapse, organizations can create detailed revenue reports that, for example, are tied to each journal entry, because we offer a level of granularity that most cloud ERPs are not designed to handle natively. For instance, something that's perhaps very tangible is clients can access trade level balance sheet or daily P&L reports that are directly tied to individual transactions. So that not only supports more informed decision making, but it also allows organizations to respond quickly to inquiries, right? Whether that's internal stakeholders or external auditors. We also enable, lastly, transaction level traceability, a critical feature for industries like financial services, like insurance, and also like manufacturing, like Adam mentioned earlier, where we know that compliance and audit readiness are non-negotiable. So again, what does that mean here for system integrators? We think that this capability of traceability and granularity can be a differentiator, right? Because by incorporating an accounting hub into your migration process, you're not just offering clients a faster path to better data, you're also giving them the tools to build trust and confidence in their financial reporting. So that makes your value prop stronger, helps clients feel more comfortable in moving away from legacy systems. Now, the next migration benefit is improving the finance user experience. When moving to a modern cloud ERP like Dynamics D365, obviously many clients will worry about how their finance teams will adapt to that new environment, right? Legacy systems like GP or AX, they may have been cumbersome, but for many teams they are at least familiar. So that thought of navigating a new system, especially one that perhaps feels less tailored to their unique needs, can be daunting at times. And that's another area where an accounting hub can transform the migration experience, right? Because we will be serving as a single source of accounting truth for the organization. So a hub like Fynapse can streamline financial processes and provide clarity across the board. One of the most valuable aspects of Fynapse is its intuitive, user-friendly design. It simplifies the complex financial processes, makes it also easier for finance teams to understand and explain, for example, account balances. So that clarity will reduce the learning curve during and after the migration to make sure that we empower teams to focus on high-value tasks instead of having to struggle to adapt to the new solutions workflows, for example. Additionally, the no-code environment that's provided by the accounting hub gives finance teams unprecedented flexibility. So that means they can quickly modify rules, they can quickly adapt to processes without waiting on IT support, which again not only accelerates workflows, also gives them greater control over their financial data. So for SIs, this improvement, I think, we believe can improve the user experience, and it can have that profound impact, right? So we think that when finance teams are empowered with the tools that make their work easier, they are far more likely to embrace a new system and fully realize its benefits. So by incorporating the accounting hub into the migration approach, you're not just solving the technical challenges, you're also ensuring that the end users feel supported, feels comfortable and capable throughout that transition. Now lastly, one of the often overlooked challenges of migration to a cloud ERP is the complexity that may be involved in managing accounting rules, right? In a legacy system like GP, accounting rules are often tangled or intertangled in layers of customization. There's a lot of duplication going on. There are inconsistencies over time that happen. So these legacy rules, they may have worked for decades, but as the organizations grow and regulatory requirements evolve, managing them becomes increasingly cumbersome. So an accounting hub if you include an accounting hub in the migration, it can provide a more streamlined approach to managing those accounting rules. So instead of having to duplicate rules across multiple source systems, with Fynapse we can centralize and rationalize them in one place. Another key benefit of the accounting hub there is transparency. Okay, so with clear reporting on the accounting rules usage, clients can quickly see how these rules are being applied, whether they need to be adjusted to meet new requirements, and so forth. And I think that level of visibility is invaluable for compliance, audit readiness, and just overall financial governance. So for Microsoft partners, that ability to simplify accounting rules during the migration process is a significant advantage, right? It reduces the complexity of the implementation, it shortens project timelines, it minimizes the risks of errors that can creep into the system. And I think moreover, by handing clients a solution that simplifies rule management post-migration, you're giving them a tool that delivers value well beyond go live. So in closing here on the slide, cloud ERP migrations, they represent a pivotal moment for organizations, right? It's a chance to modernize their systems and embrace new opportunities. And that's, I think, if there's anything we'd like to take away here, is that's where Fynapse as an accounting hub comes into play. Because by integrating an accounting hub into those migration efforts, you're not just implementing an ERP, you're providing a holistic solution that can reduce risk, that can strengthen financial controls, that can improve the user experience, as well as lay the groundwork for future innovations through AI, for example. I know we haven't really spoken about the topic, but by leveraging AI during the migration process, Fynapse can ensure data quality, it can automate repetitive tasks, it can accelerate implementation timelines. And post-migration, it can serve as a future-proof foundation for tools like Adam mentioned, like Copilot, where we can enable predictive analysis, automated reporting, and also streamlined reconciliations. So for SIs, this really is an opportunity to elevate your value proposition and ensure that your clients experience a smoother migration and emerge with a system that's built for scalability, compliance, and innovation. So,
thanks, Peter. So thank you very much. We're coming towards the end of our time together. So Adam, I think you've got a slide with how people can get in touch. So yeah, there we go. So I think for my sort of takeaways of this is if you're looking at the install base, so GP to F&O being a big one there, but if you're looking to do anything with that, if you're looking to do compete against people like Oracle or SAP, I do think it's worth getting in touch with the gang. They put their email addresses here, so feel free to reach out to them. Because I do think it's one of these things that when you need this sort of solution, that you are really going to need this kind of solution, right? So I think it's worth reaching out to them, getting a bit more information, having a much more having a demo, having a more detailed conversation around how it could work with some of your customers and prospects, and then go from there. Adam and Peter, was there anything you wanted to wrap up with?
Yeah, Richard, appreciate the time and everyone that's joined the call and that will be watching the recording. Don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to continue these conversations and help the Dynamics partner community win some more deals.
Wonderful, thank you very much. With that, then I will thank everybody who's been watching, either live or recorded. We all know that your time is very valuable, so I appreciate you spending so much of it with us. and I hope to have a great rest of your week, and happy holidays to everybody in the US, and Merry Christmas to all my colleagues around the UK. So thanks everybody, and I'll speak to you all very soon.
Thank you.